now the AFC Wimbledon head coach Mark Robinson. Have you managed to go through Saturday's game again? Was it painful viewing, Robbo?
Yeah, you have to go through it. Obviously, it's not nice to watch when you lose heavily, but you have to go through that process. One, because you need to identify the things that weren't good enough and make sure that your emotion hasn't made you see things in the wrong way. So you have to do that. And also, there will be elements that were good or okay, and you need to point those out as well. And up until they got the second goal, watching it back, it wasn't as bad as it felt on the day, despite all the changes we had to make. We were very much in the game, but it was more after the second goal. That's when I felt the disappointment come in. Not disappointment as in they downed tools or didn't care. It wasn't about that, but we clearly showed disappointment that they felt the game was going to get away from us, and I need to see that because I need to get that across to them, because that was why I was hurting after the game, because we can't have a Wimbledon side that do that. Every game I think of, even when we've gone behind, we always look like we're going to get back into it, bar Oxford, or we've got a chance of getting back into games. And Saturday I just felt that we went really flat when the second goal went in. As I said, not due to lack of care. It's probably the other way actually. I think the lads just felt that they were coming out half time, they were going to get back into it. They started the second half bright. So there's all those little key elements that I have to look at, because the mental aspect of the game is absolutely huge.
Well, absolutely. I mean, mindset is very important to you. What's been the response since we spoke to you on Saturday?
Yeah, the response is always positive. They're absolutely determined to get back to winning games of football. And as you said, mindset in elite sport is absolutely massive. So the determination's there, but I've also got to make sure that determination doesn't form itself in terms of anxiety. So I know the hunger there, but it's how they channel that hunger, because we want to play in a certain way, and when you want to play in that way, you need to be confident, and you need players to take certain risks in certain areas, not risks, but do confident things in areas. And there was something that happened on Saturday after they scored where we could have got straight back into the game, and someone of quality didn't quite have a touch that they would normally have. And you look at things like that, and you need to speak to individuals and find out why that touch might have got away from them, and relax them, because the hunger's there, the determination's there. So as I said, it's looking at all those key areas.
Have you seen a positive response in training today?
Yeah, well, they're always positive. This isn't an issue. The players are fully behind what we're trying to do. They're fully behind what they want to do. As I said, when you're in a run of form, the mindset and the confidence is absolutely huge. And it's not about keep doing the same thing, because that's the first sign of madness. It's about looking at what we do and how I get the confidence back into them. I mean, our biggest issue in this run is the draws. 7 draws in games that we've taken the lead. That's our issue. In terms of losses this season, I believe there's 11 teams that have lost the same amount or more games than us. We've just drawn far too many games. And you turn whatever it is, those 13 draws, even 3 of them into wins, and the picture looks different. So it's not about ifs and buts, but that's our issue. It's those small margins, and how I make sure that we get back on track, and get back to that team. That on full, when they're on full throttle, they can go and win games.
Focusing on the Gillingham game, I'm going to run through a few players with you now. What's the latest on George Marsh?
Yeah, George is. He didn't do all the session, but just in case he took another knock on it, it's sore, but he's going to be fine for tomorrow. So we just didn't want to risk him taking another whack on something that's already sore. But George is going to be absolutely fine, so that's good news.
How is Jack Rodoni?
Now Rudy, we feel that tomorrow night would just be a little bit too early. We can't risk him coming back and then breaking down for longer term. So tomorrow, unfortunately, no, but he should be good for Saturday.
Your captain Alex Woodyard is very keen to get back indeed. How do you manage that situation?
Again, Wood is desperate to come back, but again I have to listen to the medical team, because they also want to have our eye on long term. So again, tomorrow night, just a little bit too soon, but I expect him to be fully back into contention for Saturday. He's working really, really hard, and they just feel that he needs another day, Tuesday, and then he'll be in Wednesday, and building himself back up for Saturday.
Aaron Presley had some minutes out in Portugal with Brentford. He's come back with a bit of a tan. Good to have him back in the building. What's the situation with him?
Yeah, he trained really well, so it's good to have Aaron back, and he will be available for the bench. He's only built up, I think, 45, 50 minutes with Brentford, but he will be available for the bench, which again is really good news.
Now, with the suspension situation, you've got Luke McCormick back, Aya Basal is still out.
Yeah.
Does that allow you to perhaps alter things, perhaps?
Well, yes. Well, it's only Macca back from Saturday, so I need to look at that. So, Macca will be back, and I expect him to have a big influence, which he will. I hope, as I said, we've got to wait again till Saturday. So tomorrow, not a lot's changed, but Saturday we will have lots of players back. So, it's about tomorrow night, regrouping, as I said, and looking how we get the win tomorrow night.
Fans have been very supportive with accommodating Sam Cosgrove since he's got here. About getting that link-up play to him, though, is that something you're looking into?
Massively. We've got to make Sam as effective as possible, as you would with any forward. As I said, it didn't happen Saturday. Sunderland game, he had a good game. Need to get more support to him in different ways, and that's just not getting people closer to him. That's getting better quality into him so that he can do what he does, especially in and around the penalty area. So that's something that we're working on. We're fully aware where we're falling down and where we need to get better, and where we need to get players more effective in key areas.
Ben Hennigan, clearly fired up, emotive interview with him on Saturday evening as well, talking about 14 cup finals.
Yeah.
Do you stick to the style of play that you want long term, or have you got to alter that because of the situation we're in now?
You have to when you're creating something, Rob, and you want to create and build something for the future, you have to stick with it. But let's not stick with it blindly. But you have to. There is no other way. I've created businesses. I've created this academy, which is firing, and I'll do the same here with the first team. But as I said, that's not being blind and not seeing things that are wrong. But if I walk in and say to the lads, right, well, that didn't work, let's start all over again and smash it forward, then you've lost them. You've lost them, and you just become survivors, etc. So I know it feels like we're surviving right now. I'm fully aware of that, and I'm fully aware we're not where any of us want to be right now. But there have been exciting moments, hence why the fans in the majority are behind what we're doing. And as I said, it's not about blindly going down the same road. It's about finding ways to make sure our style of play is more effective. But as I said, a lot of it is mindset. An awful lot of it is mindset. I know games like Wickham feel like a long time ago, but I have fans coming up to me saying it's one of the best away performances they've seen. But when you're low on confidence, all of a sudden things don't look as full thrust, and players aren't taking that little gamble they might take, or being as exciting in the final third as they need to be. So it's a huge thing. But ripping up and just going in there and saying no, we're changing would be an absolute calamitous move, and you'd lose the players. I've seen it happen over and over again. So we need to make sure we know exactly what we want to do and how we want to achieve it. And I know it's not happening right now, but it will happen.
Good to hear. So far we've rightly focused upon ourselves, as is always the case, but tomorrow's opponent's Gillingham, of course. Change of manager, Neil Harris has gone in there, a couple of wins already. We're expecting a battle out there tomorrow night, aren't we? Yeah,
obviously he's an excellent manager, so they're going to be really well organised and well structured. And as I said, we've watched the game since he's been there, so we know exactly what we've got to do, and we intend to go there and do it.
It's two teams that are very much in need of the points down there as well, so we're anticipating a real battle out there, aren't we?
Yeah, every game in League One is tough. They all throw up different challenges, and every game we want to come away with maximum points. So it never changes in my head, Rob. Whoever we're playing, maybe I was a bit delusional with 5 changes, thinking that we'd go up to Bolton and get 3 points. But that's how everything's in my head. Wherever we go, I believe we're capable of coming away with 3 points. And as I said, we've done it at places like Aki, and we nearly did it at places like Wickham, and as I said, the reason it hurt on Saturday is because we looked second best in the end, and I don't think that's the case very often. Even in this poor run of form, we wasn't second best against Morecambe, we wasn't second best against Sunderland, we wasn't second best against Cheltenham, even Charlton away. So it's small margins, and we've just got to work to get these small margins swinging back in our favour.
Robbo, thanks for your time.
All right, cheers, Rob.